Welcome to Chili's.
Who does he think he is? I'm his father. How dare him to leave me like that? I guess my only friend now is the bus driver.
Yeah, man. Kids, I feel you, man. Kids. Ugh. You know, they grow up so fast. Especially those Monte Vista ones. They just grow up too damn smart, you know?
Oh, speaking of Monte Vista, how are your kids doing with grades? Like, how exactly do you parent them?
Oh, no, man. You gotta learn from the expert here. You gotta use a belt, man. It really keeps them in line, you know? Even in the worst of moments. But you, my friend, are an amateur. You straight up disowned the boy, and now you want his trust back. Screw that nonsense, man. Just straight up leave him. He's a total pipsqueak, alright?
Hey, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Like, our relationship is a bit complicated, man. We go long back, man. We have a, complicated history. A lot of happy memories. All the good times we had. I look back on those times. I used to help you with math homework. I still remember teaching you basic arithmetic. You were so happy when you learned 1 + 1 = 2. And those bullies that hated your greaser haircut got what they deserved. I wish I could be there to protect you from them still. I miss you, son.
Yeah, man, I get you. It's complicated.
Yep, love is complicated, man.
Hi, welcome to Chili's. Are you ready to order?
Yes, I would like to have a grilled cheese sandwich. I'm not that hungry.
Gosh darn it. I just lost my job at the car factory. I don't think I can even afford a sandwich. What should I do? I don't even have any money. I'll just have a orange juice.
Alright then, I'll be right back.
Oh, I got it. I need to be the father that Abdullah needs. I need to do something good.
I listed A, B, C, D, and then I did.
Use your grilled cheese sandwich or use your orange juice?
Thanks, man.
Defining and then second.
Oh, hey, there's no time to waste. I gotta go to India and get a new son. I'm going to the airport. Hopefully I don't get caught smuggling my rotis. Rickshaw.
Where to? Hello sir, my name is Ranjit. I will be your rickshaw driver for today. Where do you want to go?
Oh, hello. Take me home. I live next to the school.
Yes sir.
My son, what has become of you? You used to be so smart and so mature. Now, all you do is play video games, sleep, and eat junk food. You don't do homework anymore, and you have stopped studying. You have changed, my son. I remember when you used to win math competitions, but now, the only thing you win is video games. I raised you in a good house, gave you what you wanted, and gave you my love and respect. I worked hard to make sure you had a good childhood so you would succeed in life. And all I asked from you in return was to be a good student. My years of hard work was wasted on you. I used to love you. Now, I don't know how I feel. I cannot love someone who doesn't love school. You are a disappointment to me. I'm sorry, but I know what must be done.
Are you okay sir? You seem very sad.
Oh, I'm just disappointed at my son. He's a disgrace to our family, and I really want a new one. Someone who's like UC Berkeley material or Stanford material.
Damn, I get that. Have you heard of Owen's Orphanage? It's pretty close by.
Oh, no, I have not.
Oh, so it's an orphanage that produces the smartest and most talented kids.
But doesn't adopting a child take a lot of time?
No, I know the owner very well. He'll give you a new son in under a day.
Wait, how will I know if he's UC Berkeley material?
I mean, we could do a sorting algorithm, you know? Why not?
Wow, that seems like a great idea.
Exactly, yeah.
Hey, take me there immediately, right now.
Yes, sir.
लंबरगिनी चलाई जाने ओ लंबरगिनी चलाई जाने ओ सानू भी झूठा दे दो किथे कल्ले कल्ले जाई जाने ओ सानू भी झूठा दे दो किथे कल्ले कल्ले जाई जाने ओ मॉडल टाउन च मारे गेड़ी मॉडल टाउन च मारे गेड़ी सानू भी झूठा दे दो किथे कल्ले कल्ले जाई जाने ओ
इश्के दा ऐसा पाया जाल सोनिए दिल मेरा कट के ले गई नाल सोनिए तेरे पीछे लगे होया साल सोनिए मान जा क्यों ना सता करे गहरा नाल जद गल्ला
Oh yeah.
Let me try some elbow on that.
Just like that. Yeah.
Headmaster, I need a new son.
I'm sorry. I don't normally have visitors. Get me chicken tikka masala, please. What did you say? You want a new son? Okay, good. You've come to the right place.
Oh, that's great to hear. You see, I have a bad son right now, and I really need a new son.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Let me show you my boys. Come here, Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Are these up to your tests?
I need a son that'll get into UC Berkeley and have high GPA.
Oh, good. This will be easy then. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a rickshaw by the road. If the driver's drunk, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is that good? You like him?
Mr. Owens, you see, I grew up in the slums of Bangladesh, right? So, you see, I know a hustler when I see one, right? And so I know, this guy is not the guy for me. You need to find another son for me.
I see. So you want to learn about the sorting algorithm?
Oh,
I'll have one of my sons teach it to you. Okay, you both of you go.
that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Nice doing business
I
with you.
see. Hey, where's my chicken tikka masala?
Oh Ram, I dropped a hot roti on my foot.
Anyway, let's get to the real thing, the real logic of quicksort. So we have this array over here, numbers. Quicksort is based on the idea of a pivot, which is a middle number which the other numbers rotate around. So we're just going to pick the number in the middle, 2, for now. So the basic idea is that all numbers to the left of 2 need to be less than 2, and all numbers to the right of 2 need to be greater than 2. So we will check this by going through different indexes, different points in the array, and slowly converging on the center. So 3 is greater than 2, but it's on the left, so that's wrong. We're going to stop there. 1 is less than 2, but it's on the right. That's also wrong. We're going to stop there. So we're going to swap these two. And then you get 1, 4, 1, 2, 0, 3. So then we move the index in. Now 0 is less than 2, but it's on the right. Again, that's wrong. 4 is greater than 2, it's on the left. That's also wrong. So we're going to swap those. 1, 0, 1, 2, 4, 3. So now we have, if you just take a look at the pivot, all the numbers to the left of the pivot are less than it, and all the numbers to the right of the pivot are greater than it. So we fixed that part, but it's not entirely sorted. So what we're going to do now is we're going to split this list into two lists. So let's just split it evenly like this. 1, 0, 1 and 2, 4, 3. So let's start with 1, 0, 1. So let's pick this as our pivot. It doesn't matter why we pick that, but we pick that as a pivot for now. So again, all numbers to the left need to be less than it, and all numbers to the, let's just pick the middle just for simplicity's sake. All numbers to the right of it need to be greater than it, and all numbers to the left of it need to be smaller than it. There are no numbers that are smaller than it, however, and so we just have this index over here. The right index starts here. It's greater, it's on the right side, so it moves over. And it will not shift the pivot, so it will move over again, and eventually it will cross the left index. So at this point you want to stop the quicksort, and the last step would be to exchange the point where the left index is with the center. So we end up with 0, 1, 1. That's fully sorted, so we're not going to worry about that anymore. We're going to do the same thing for 2, 4, 3. Let's take 4 as the pivot because it's in the middle. Again, 3 is on the right. It is less than 4, so it shouldn't be on the right, but it is. And 2 is less than 4, and it's on the left. This is correct. So the left index will move over. We cannot switch the pivot. So eventually the left index will cross the right index, and we will have to stop. This means that as the final step, we will exchange the point where the left index is with the pivot, and we end up with 2, 3, 4. So now when we put these two together, we end up with 0. We end up with 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is fully sorted.
Wow, this is super interesting. I sort of get this now, but I want to see this in action. I think it's time to do some sorting and to see which boy is the best son for me.
Okay, Dad.
Hey, don't call me that yet. I haven't filled out the paperwork.
Sir, we are glad to present the best candidates to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Before we begin, I would request you to consider the candidates holistically.
What does that even mean? I'm looking for best SAT and GPA, nothing else.
All that means is that if a candidate is best in one category, it doesn't mean they're the best overall.
Oh, I'll keep an open mind.
So quicksort requires a pivot, so we're going to start there. Shreyas, can you step forward and move the pivot? No. So now basically the idea is all numbers to the left need to be smaller and all numbers to the right need to be greater. So we're going to start our index here. 1230 is greater than 1220, so we're going to move on. That's all right. 1020 is less than 1220, so we're going to stop our right index there. 1350 is greater than 1220, so we're going to stop our index there as well. Can both of you switch? Okay. So then we're going to move our index in further. 1480 is greater than 1220, that's fine. 600 is less than 1220, we're going to stop there. 1600 is greater than 1220, so we're going to stop there as well. Can you guys switch? Yeah, okay, that's good. So now we will we'll split this list in half. Shreyas, you can go back inside the list and split in half. So if you can move a little bit to the right, that's your separate list now. So within this list now, we pick, first we're going to deal with the first sublist. We pick a pivot here. You could step forward. So all numbers to the left need to be smaller and all numbers to the right need to be bigger. It's the same logic. So 1020 is greater than 690, we're going to stop there, that's not right. 1220 is greater than 690, so that's all right. So now we're going to switch 690 and 1020, so it's okay, so that's all right. Now we will split this into two different halves. So Nathan will move to this side. Let's cover that. So now we're going to deal with the first sublist within this. Let's take 690 as our pivot. 600 is less than this, but it's on the right, so we're going to switch this. That sublist is now sorted. This sublist is already sorted, but we can go through the process anyway. 1220 is a pivot, but the number to the left of it is less than it, so there's nothing to switch. So now these two together are now sorted because it's truly sorted. So we can move over. This list can move over. We can bring this list in so we can also sort. So now we take within this 4-member list, we take 1350 as our pivot, so we can start forward. All numbers to the left of it have to be less than it, and all numbers to the right have to be greater. So we're going to start on the left. 1600 is greater than 1350, which
means it's on the wrong side, we're gonna stop there. 1230 is less than 1350, again, wrong side, so we're gonna switch this to 1480 is also greater than 1350, which means it's on the wrong side. So we're going to switch the pivot to 1480. So now again, we could split these and sort them individually, but they're already sorted. So it would be the same process as before. Now you see that this list is completely sorted.
I'm going to select the pivot to be the middle value, which is 4.0, and left pointer is 4.2, and it needs to be greater than 4.0, so it'll stay there. The right pointer needs to be less than 4.0, so it'll stay there. So 1.3 and 4.2 will switch. The left pointer is now on 1.4, and the right pointer on 4.2. So the left pointer will increment to 0.9 and increment again to 4.0. Right pointer will decrement to 2.4, so 4.0 and 2.4 switch. The left and right pointer are now on 3.75. So I'll divide this list into sublists 1.3 to 3.75 and 3.75 to 1.2. So I'll focus on the left side first. The pivot will be 0.9. Left pointer is on 1.3 and it's greater than 0.9, so it'll stay. The right pointer is on 3.75, decrement to 2.4, decrement to 0.9, so 1.3 and 0.9 will switch. The left and right pointers are now on 1.4, so I'll divide this list into 0.9 and 1.4, and 1.4. So the pivot will be 0.9, and the left pointer will be 0.9. The right pointer will be 1.4, which will decrement to 0.9, so this side is sorted. Pivot will be 1.3, left pointer on 1.4, which is greater than 1.3, so it'll stay. The right pointer is on 3.75, it'll decrement to 2.4, and decrement to 1.3. So this they'll switch. This is sorted now, so I'll do the list from 3.75 to 4.2. I'll pick 4.0 to be the pivot. 3.75 will be the left pointer, which will increment to 4.0. The right pointer will be 4.2, which will decrement to 4.2, decrement to 4.0. So I'll split this list from 3.75 to 4.0 and 4.0 to 4.2. So can you, so the pivot now will be 3.75, and the left pointer will be 3.75. The right pointer will be 4.0, which will decrement to 3.75. So this is sorted. The pivot here is 4.2. Left pointer is 4.0, which will increment to 4.2. The right pointer is 4.2, which will stay. So 4.2 will swap. And it's sorted.
Alright, I'm going to choose the pivot as 540, so please step forward. Now I'm going to look for the item from left, which is the first item from the left that's greater than the pivot, which is 720. Now I'm going to look for the item from left, which is the first number from the right that's smaller than the pivot, which is 420. So 420 and 720, please swap. Now I'm going to split it into two sub areas. This is the first one, and that's the second one. Starting with this one, 420 is the pivot. There is no item from left, and the item from right is 321. So 321 and 420, please swap. Now that sub area is sorted, we move on to this sub area. I'm going to choose 421 as a pivot. Please step forward. Now there is no item from left, but and there's no item from right, so this area is already sorted. So please step back. And now the area is sorted.
Okay. So I'm going to pick 4 as the pivot to step forward. And the biggest number on the left is out of place, so that's 10. And the smallest number on the right is out of place, so that's 1. So switch. And then we're going to increment both of those until we find the next two things that are out of place. So 6 is bigger than 4, and 2 is smaller than 4, so they're going to switch. And we're going to move it up again, and it gets to pivot and 1. And so since there's nothing on the left of 4, 1 is going to switch with 4 because it's less than 4. And then on the left of 4, there's nothing bigger, and there is one thing bigger, 7, and there's nothing smaller on the right, so 4 and 7 are going to switch. And now everything on the left of 4 is smaller, and everything to the right of 4 is bigger. So we're going to split in between 4 and 7 into 2 subgroups. And then I'm going to pick 2 on this side. I'm going to pick 2 as the new pivot to step forward. So nothing on the left is bigger, but on the right, 1 is smaller. So 1 is going to switch to the pivot. So everything's sorted on the left side. On the right side, I'm going to pick 6 as the pivot to step forward. And then on the left, there's something that's bigger, so that's out of place. But the 10 on the right side is correct, so 7 and 6 are going to switch. So yeah, now everything's sorted.
Okay, so I'm going to be sorting all the sons by height. Let's start with the pivot being Nathan. Let's have you stand up. And I'm going to go from the left side until I find someone that's taller than Nathan. Go from the right, yeah, this is my left side. And then from the right side, someone who's shorter than Nathan. So from here, looks like Yuri's just a bit taller than Nathan, so we're going to have him move eventually. You look all right. You are definitely shorter than Nathan. So I'm going to have you and Yuri swap. Go. I'm still in the shot, right?
Yeah.
Looks like Adi's a bit shorter, so I'm going to have him come up. Niles looks a bit shorter, so sorry, taller. I'm not going to have him move. I'm not going to have you move. The right index has moved here. Now I'm going to have you two swap. Now I'm going to have the array split into 2 subarrays, okay? So I'm going to have this subarray right here and this subarray right here. I'm going to have a new pivot for this one. I'm going to have Brandon move up, all right? And then I'm going to have Roshan. He's not taller. Nathan's not exactly taller. But from this side, we see Adi's a bit shorter. So I'm going to have him and the pivot swap. Brandon, pivot. This array seems sorted, but if I were to continue sorting, I'll split this into 2 subarrays again and do the recursive process over again. Either way, I can tell that the array is sorted, so I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to move on to the next array. I'm going to have Niles be my pivot. R looks a bit shorter, so it's okay. T looks a bit shorter, so it's not okay. Okay, no, okay. So you're taller. So I'm going to have you and the pivot swap. T4 and pivot. Now I'm going to split this into 2 subarrays again, just to make sure. You two seem all right. You two do not seem all right. So I'm going to have you be my pivot again. From the left side, there's no one. Sorry, on the right side there's no one. From the left side, we have someone who's taller, so I'm going to have you two switch again. This array sorted, this array sorted, this array sorted. I can now pull you guys back into one big array. And now it seems that all the sons are arranged by height.
Okay, so now we're sorting the sons based on how many startups they founded. So we're going to use 4 as the pivot in this case. Right, so 4, please step out. So 2 is less than 4, so that's fine. 9 is greater than 4, so that's going to be your left pivot, right? So please step out, 9. 0 is less than 4, so please step out. Your right pointer, right? So 0 and 9 flip. Switch. Okay. 4 is still going to be your pivot though. So then go 1 is less than 4, so that's fine. And then 4, and then 10 is greater than 4, so that's fine. 7 is greater than 4, that's fine. 1 and 4, so 1 is less than 4, so switch. Okay, and so now we looked at everything on the left side of 4 is less than 4, and everything on the right side of 4 is greater than 4. So now we're going to split the arrays into 2. So 1 and 4, please step away from each other. Okay. So now we have 2 arrays, right? So in this array, we're going to use 0 as the pivot, right? So 0, step out, yes. So 2 is greater than 0, so that'll be our left pivot, right? So step out, yes, right? And then 1 and 1 are both greater than 0, so then they're in the right place. So 2 and 0 flip, they swap. Okay. And so now we actually split it into a new array. So 0, please step. 2, you're fine. Okay. So now we have this array. We have to sort this one. So we're going to use 1 as the pivot. So please step out. Yeah. So 2 is greater than 1. So that's the left pointer. So we flip them. And so that's sorted. Now we're going to look at this array. This list 7 is going to be the pivot, right? So 4 is less than 7, right? And so everything on the left of 7 is less than 7. Everything on the right of 7 is greater than 7, right? So we're going to split the array, okay, between 7 and 10. So we get a set apart, right? So we look at this array first. 7 and 4, they're sorted correctly, so that's fine. 10 and 9 are not. So we're going to use 10 as the pivot, right? So please step out. Okay. The right pointer is going to be 9 because that's less than 10. So please switch. And then the array is sorted.
I've made my decision. You're my new son. Let's go.
Put your head on my shoulder, hold me in your arms, baby, squeeze me oh so tight, show me that you love me too. Put your lips next to mine, dear. Won't you kiss me?
Excuse me. I'm here for my appointment.
Oh yes, the doctor's waiting on you. Go right ahead.
Thank you. It hurts. It hurts everywhere. Someone please help me. It hurts everywhere. Anyone.
I have some bad news for you.
Doctor, what is it? Is everything well?
No, everything is not right. You're dummy tech.
Oh, doctor. What happens in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. But do I have the coronavirus? Or any other viruses like that?
No, you don't have that. But best advice, put some aloe vera on your neck.
Doctor, what would I do without you? Oh, come, give me a hug, doctor. But doctor, I have one other concern. Just teeny tiny concern.
Yeah.
You know, my blood test results, I got it done, but I'm like antsy, I'm like shaky, I'm like, is something wrong with my blood test? What would happen to me if something was wrong?
I'm sorry, but you have an STI, and your biological father is wrong.
Huh? My dad? He's not my dad? Doctor, how can this be? You know I'm Abhilash. I'm the true son. I'm the great son. Me and my dad, we had such great times together. Now you're telling me? You're telling me that's not true? How could you do this to me, doctor? How? Oh my God. Ah. The time is now. I will get my revenge. Hey! Hey! Oh, Matt! Oh, Matt! You and that vile man you call your father must both go.
Algorithms are not gonna solve this problem. I'm gonna have to sort this problem with my fist.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, trying to catch me riding dirty. catch me riding.
Oh, I'm high. I'm sorry. I'm high. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Dummy's not very visible.
On the right is 1, so they're gonna switch.
The one who knows quick stuff.
Or you can also, some other advice, it's good to also put it on your upper thighs.
Doctor.
ਫੇਲ ਤੂੰ ਕਰਾਤੀ ਲੱਗੇ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਮਹਿੰਗੀ goddamn TikTok walk ਤੇਰੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਚੱਲੇ ਸੀਨੇ ਤੇ ਮਾਰੇ ਗੋਲੀ goddamn ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਸੌ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਵੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਤੂੰ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰੀ goddamn